Who's that over there, dude? What's going on with my window? Looks at that, dude. What's wrong with that? Ah, I was frozen there looking like a retard. Okay. Here we go, my friends. We have just started. It's going to be a good time here. It started, I thought, a little earlier. Look at that face. Look at that face, dude. I'm just frozen there. Okay. We have a very standard variation, well known in the dojo, and let's just say after this move, bishop f5, white has a gazillion different things. This is just one of them. Okay? This is just one of them. The computer likes all the positions for white because of the space. However, Sam has used this before, so probably not totally unexpected. And this move, bishop e2, I don't like. In general, of course, it's a computer-driven move, but just strategically, I don't like it because I don't think white should ever take that pawn on h5. So, for example, c3 builds the position, but also maybe intends bishop h5 because then the c2 pawn isn't hanging with some bishop c2 stuff. Okay, I think, black could do a number of different things. I'm sure bishop g6 is fine. White's intention after bishop g6, I'm certain, is knight h3 to f4. So, white is the one we're going to say has won the battle of the opening. In terms of getting a little time off the clock, I don't believe in this as white. Oh, there we go, a5, a4. Good. And now we could prevent bishop h5 if we were worried about it with the simplistic queen b6. Yeah, queen b6, just a simple, nice move. In general, black would like to move the bishop on f5 to get the knight to f5. So knight f3 is generally always not the greatest because then I just instantly am able to do this developing maneuver. All right, we've said it before. Rapport is a very strange man. He's a very strange man. This is what we're definitely going to call a provocative move because after bishop e4, I guess you're playing rook h2. I guess you're doing that, buddy. All right, here we go, knight g6. Well, I can never take here because this bad boy is hanging. And now notice he can't move his queen either because the knight is hanging. So it is a little unclear exactly what black should do, but I'm assuming bishop e7's fine, c5. c5, you got to worry about bishop b5. But honestly, I'm not too worried. I'm not 100% happy about knight g6. The knight, yeah, let's just say black has one problem in this position. It's really the knight on g6. How to fix him. And also the king is, well, first of all, I think white has more problems, but black has to figure out the knight and to figure out where the king goes. Oh my God, we have one draw result. I don't even know who it, I got to look closer at who it is. Looks like Prague drew as black. The guy as white didn't even want to fight. Okay, so as I said, whenever knight f3 comes, we're interested in moving the bishop e4 or g4 to get rid of it. Our bishop is poor. The bishop that we've basically paid a lot to get the bishop outside the pawn chain, the light square bishop. The poor bishop, so we're going to try to trade him off. And there we go. White playing very fast. In the previous game, Sam had always had the advantage on the clock. So we're anticipating bishop e2 here. Black could do a variety of different things. Queen a6 is never a bad move after that. let's see. Again, the knight on g6 is the only piece I feel a little icky about. Sticky in the icky. Queen a6, I'm a GM today. If c4, we'll have bishop b4, so we're not really concerned about that. I would say black is completely fine. Completely fine. All right, c4 is a very ambitious move. And I don't like it. If the pawn were on a2, I think I would be much more happy with this. But since bishop b4 can come, and we then can reorganize our pieces real nice, then I don't like it for white. So it feels a little bit like white's pressing his luck with this move. Hi, Nordovich. Knight b6 immediately. I'll say I'm a little surprised because it's not so much that on b4 I want to take the knight or anything. I wanted to get my other knight over here. All right, so Sam says this is a bad pawn structure for you, buddy. Now, if I was white, I would consider knight c1 to d3, looking at b4. Like maybe here and b4. Oh, I'm a GM today. I feel like we got to fix this knight. Now, it's going to be concrete. We, as black, can try to fix the knight. That's one plan. We could try to play b6 as another plan. There are so many different plans as black, actually, that we could do. Bishop d8 is fixing the knight. I'm a GM today. I'm a GM today. Yeah, Nordovich, we're rooting for Sam here. All right, knight d3. So long term, f6 immediately. Now, my thought was that white would always play f4. Good. Now this gives us the little tickler here after knight e7 to f5. And nota bene, we might have ideas of like later fe, fe, and g5, maybe. We can decide when to do it, because in general, it's not the greatest thing for white to take on f6. There we got finally fixed our knight. I've been talking about that knight for a while. To my eyes, black looks fine, but the computer a lot of times likes the space advantage. And what we'll say about the space advantage is, even though this is our good bishop, he is kind of imprisoned with all these pawns. And so b6 would be the frisky move for here, for black. Frisky because then this becomes weak. Makes sense. One cool thing about these positions is black is the one who gets to decide. Well, black gets to decide this one, and white gets to decide this one. So this is a prophylactic move working against black achieving b6. Bishop e7. I think Sam is now dreaming about rook over and Grover. It's going to be very concrete. We have to wonder about any kind of b4. Once we play b6, then the knight is really going to be thinking about that c6 square. Both of these pieces are great in their own ways, but especially that knight on d7, he needs a break like b6 to come to life. All right. So, how long since Rapport has been in a Berlin? I don't know what that means. Oh, Rapport has an amazing style, dude. No, I mean, he's definitely a friend of the dojo in terms of his style and his lifestyle and his hair. you know. But me and David lived with Sam for a long time. David's known Sam since he was like 12. And I've known him less so, but I've definitely known the kid. And it's a cool story, too, where he's making a comeback after falling from 2,700 grace. Okay, so Rapport blitzed all these moves. And I was finally thinking, Rook A B1, the longest thing of the game, 1 minute. And the question is really like, okay, do you want, I think you only want to play B4 after black has played B6. All right, one obvious problem. There's a couple of obvious problems. The second you play B4, A4 becomes weak. Now, I think for just a moving fast perspective, this move makes the most sense. We also want to note that if takes and rook takes, I'll get a millisecond to be able to play B5 because you can't take. One drawback of rook FB8 is if we decided that we really want this maneuver, like we really, really want it, then we're taking that off the table. The other thing I want to say that's interesting what Rapport did by putting the knight here, he wants to prevent FE, right? So if FE happens, then the knights come in. In the other position, without the knight there, it's not going to come in. Okay, so what I thought was the standard move, I would have liked to have seen that a little faster. It just felt like that was the only thing that we really wanted. One thing I like about this position for black is now white has to make a choice. I don't know what he should do either. If you can't do B4 pawn takes knight takes because then rook takes A4 just hangs. If you play pawn takes or rook takes, then we have B5. Right? So it's a kind of a bummer for white in terms of like, well, what do I do? Rook C2. Okay, I was just crossed my mind. And I think the claim here, which I'm not sure I believe, is that if you play B6, I can play against C6. Now notice, one of the things that's going to be really interesting is if B6, pawn takes. By the way, knight takes is possible. It's a thought. It's not a bad thought. Maybe he should just play B6. So B6 is looking pretty good. One nice thing about B6 is both recaptures are plausible. Both of recaptures are plausible. If you were going to be nervous about it, you would say, well, in this position, I'm just too concerned about that. I don't know. Maybe you should be, maybe you shouldn't be. Okay? Notice that our knight, which was terrible, is coming to life in this variation. And then if in this position, I think black is fine, honestly, but you could be concerned about this kind of thing, maybe here. Notice that this knight is a genius. He is working hard, and this bishop will eventually dream of talking to this pawn. Notice, though, this knight, he's a great knight. Oh, man. He's keeping this pawn in check, this one in check. We got to move. Rook A6. Potentially a very clever move. So he's saying B4 I'm not afraid of. And he's saying when I play B6 next, I want to be able to take back this way and have all of the party started. Even if I take back this way, honestly, the cool thing is then that rook will be ready to go because this rook is already defending this pawn. So candidate move for white might be bishop e1. There might be a way to try to get, I don't like it, but b3's kind of like to try to get ahead of the game a little bit. I think in classical chess too, but here for sure, is that the positions where white is playing for space are just harder. So the computer might show you an advantage, bishop e1. Oh, I'm a GM today. Computer might show you an advantage, but you're the one who has to calculate all the different ways that black can escape from his cage. And once these pieces escape, they are potentially going to be very, very angry. All right, so bishop e1. Oh, it's a little hot. All right. Bishop d8. Simple chess. All right, beautiful. b3. Remember I called that move? So one of the nice things about waiting until then is if b6 happens, I might want the option of rook b2 to defend this pawn, but I don't want bishop a3 to whack me. So at least now that's not happening. Now notice, white's position could really fall apart. This guy's loose, this guy's loose. And now we get king e8, which is a little bit of a weird move to me. And I'm going to go ahead and say I don't get it. There's an argument that he's like getting closer to the d7 pawn. Okay. So like maybe we move the knight somehow, somewhere, and then we get to the king to d7. Maybe also just a waiting move to say, hey, white, what do you want to do? Oh, I got it. I got it. It's important to protect the bishop. So on pawn takes, rook takes, bishop a5. Notice whenever he does that, this is hanging, but he's threatening our rook. Rook takes, and then we aren't hanging this guy at the end of all that. That's kind of clever. Okay, king e8, kind of clever. Also, it is a good waiting move. King f2, also reasonable waiting move. This is no longer a check. This guy's guarded. All right, so the big question, Sam, are you ready to pull the trigger on b6, buddy? All right, lots of comments, good comments in chat. And here we go. I'm going to do one quick thing with the stream here. Let's get a Let's Go Sam going up here. Let's go Sam. You got me wrapped around your finger. All right, here we go. Back to the front. B6 played. Very good. I feel like a GM today. We have reached a critical position, my friends. And I want to say I'm a little nervous on bishop a5. I am officially a little nervous. Now, hold on. What am I missing? If bishop a5, rook takes. Unless I have something else. I don't know. But, you know. Why aren't all my coconuts falling here? That is the basic question. Why isn't this? Why am I not dying? Now, the answer might be that I play rook a3 now. And if rook e6, I whack him this way. Holy smokers. I have a feeling that's what they're looking at. I have a feeling that's the intention with this move. Okay, big thought here. D3 is hanging. Thank you so much. Just a little earlier. World Brumph. What am I doing? So, as the simple thing to note here is there's no rook c6. Your knight's hanging, bruv. Your knight's hanging. Consequence of king f2 happening. This is why we need to chat in the room, man. Come on, Kraai. Rook cb2. Passive. Okay, now, what black is now hoping... Well... Yeah, now six. A simple move here. I feel black is... We gotta like black here. Gotta like black. Now, is it... How good is it? I don't know, but I think we gotta like black. White's really tied down. Now, it is a challenge to try to imagine what I would do next, okay? Totally fair question. What do I do next? I don't know yet. But I have the active rooks. If it's just my move, I might play king f7. Here we got king e2. Let's see. He wants a good... He really would love... King e2, like, you know, it doesn't really improve our position too much. Bishop e7. Ooh. Now, that kind of invites a draw offer with king f2 and then bishop d8. I definitely think it's true that if white ever lost this baby, it wouldn't just be the loss of a pawn, but the knight would just become a beast. Oh, I get it, though. If king f2, we can very much think about c5. It's not 100%. But I think that's at least the threat we're hanging over his head. Oh, I like it, bishop e7. Just a little question, buddy. Just a little question, Bose. Now, here we go, rook c2. Okay, good move. Or at least it's a good thought. Now the knight is protected, and now we got two coconuts hanging over here. And now Sam has to make a decision. Do I want to go passive, or do I want to take this thing? Now, my weird variation before might come into play, actually, with now the knight being protected. So we might imagine rook b3, rook takes. Let's take on c6, rook a3. Honestly, seems fine for black. We might have wished for more than fine, okay? But that seems probably fine for black. All right, rook b3, rook b3, rook b3, rook c6. Now, besides rook a3, does black have anything else that is plausible? I like rook a3. Anything else that's plausible? In general, it seems suicidal to give up the pawn, but when we were looking at that position, like this rook is also getting very active. He's not only winning this pawn, but this check is huge. And the rook on e6, I don't know. I don't know. Now, if you wanted to be a weenie, I guess you could think about knight f8 or something. He plays king f7. Okay, so he says, I don't want to deal with that. Now, there is scary stuff about potentially like a rook c7 at some point. Now, note to Benny, there's no bishop a5 yet because of knight g3, or at least I don't think he wants to taste that. So king f7 with the simple and strong looks better than my rook a3. Rook a6. Okay. Now, what this is claiming is that he can calmly take that pawn, and he's not going to get wasted by either this maneuver or this maneuver. We should also say that rook a3, rook a5, knight b6, I don't think we're losing any pawn. You know, we're getting some play, son. We're getting some play. All right, so rook a3. I think white is pressing his luck a little bit. Report does have the time advantage, my friend. Some people like fe5 in the chat. In general, I don't want to ever play fe5. All right, rook a3. I'm a GM today. If we had an eval bar on, the game's too fast for the eval bar, but if we had an eval bar on, I would say black is better. Maybe like -0.4 or something. That'd just be my intuitive take. And black has to, well, honestly, I think he's kind of all in, isn't he? Like, isn't he all in with rook a5 now? What else is there to consider? One nice comforting detail for black is that you could worry about stuff like this, you know, but my knight is an amazing piece. He guards a lot of things. Rook a5, check to the miserable king. I like it. It gives white just a simple question. If bishop d2, there's knight g3. If knight d2, there's knight d4. Minimum. There might even be something else, right? And if king f1, you're just sad about your life. King d1, you're just sad about your life. Both those moves, I have the check on e3, and I have knight b6. Oh, buddy. Bishop d2 played. I think Sam is definitely better now. Definitely better. Okay, knight takes g3 is the obvious move. Knight b6 might also be a soul crusher. Let me repeat. Knight b6 might also be a soul crusher. Oh, man, that's getting rough here for white. He snaggled a pawn that's far away from queening, my friends. So, move played, knight b6. I'm a GM today. Oh, buddy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got to move. Knight c1. Maybe if I refresh, it's not always going to do this thing where I think once I start a variation, then I have to click on the move for it to wake up. Okay, knight c1. That is potentially annoying, or he is saying, ooh, look at that, knight g3 check to the miserable king. Ooh, very sweet. So if king f2, we got rook d2. King e3, we have minimum of, well, we don't need a minimum. We don't need a minimum. I think he's cooked, bruvs. Now I think, yeah, king f2, I just knight e4. I could also, yeah. Oh, it's so simple. It's so simple. Welcome to the dojo, Richard. King d1, okay. So default move, I think, is rook a3, hitting the knight on f3. Rook a4, he's going to make his life simple. I'm all about a simple life. Okay, so he might come to regret rook a4 because I get it that rook a4 is the safe thing to do, but rook a3, bruv, that might have just been game because he does not have simple ways of dealing with all the coconuts coming in. Oh, rook a3, I think he missed it. Okay, so it's a good claim that he's still lost. And it's not just a pawn, but the fact that our pieces are better. And this guy's active with these squares. This guy's active over here. This guy, of course, is active. He's got this idea, he's got this idea, and we have this idea. So if I'm just staring at it, I like knight e4 intending this stuff. Well, if we got our king to g4, that's good night, Lucy. And knight e4 looks pretty good. This is pretty amazing, bruv. Okay. I think this is the moment I'm supposed to say, hey, did you ever want to join the dojo? Knight F5, I don't understand, Sam. If you ever wanted to join the dojo anyway, buddy, you just got to use that code GOA for 20% off. Okay, King E2. I didn't. I wanted that king going to G6 and F5, bruv. Okay. Still, of course we're doing great. Of course we're doing great. Maybe now knight B2 to C4, knight B6 is a similar thing. Arguably, knight B6 is more flexible, as if when knight D3 comes, I don't have to play. I don't need to force a decision. At some point, of course, we want to play FE5, and one of the cool things about knight C4 is by talking to this coconut, we will prevent knight E5. So knight D7, similar idea. Oh, actually, not only that, but it introduces the very simple thought of, hey, I'm going to go steal this coconut. Very good, Sam. Okay. I take everything back I said about your weedy moves, buddy. I take it all back. This is, whenever you can achieve high weenie like this, where your opponent just can't do nothing, Well, Michael Wang, we got to say, though, he has a clean plan. King G6, F5 might have looked really cool, but with this plan, he's like, nope, you're going to lose a second pawn, buddy. And with that, L game. So this is a desperation move. And we're anticipating bishop F6, but GF6 is also a strong alternative. Okay, he goes GF6, holds the line. I like it. So knight D7 threatened, to my mind, Fe. So now this has happened. Black structure is amazing. White has 3 weak pawns. Sometimes you think to yourself, if black has 4 pawns and we have 3, it should be easier to grab one of black's pawns. He's got more of them to hit. But you see in this position, oh man, those 3 pawns are weak sauce. And very soon, we're going to play bishop D6. Oh, buddy. We're going to play bishop D6. We're going to do this. And then the knight's going to hit both of them, buddy. Oh, it's a dream. It's a dream, bruv. It's a dream. Let's go, Sam, buddy. It's looking good. I would say this is lost now. It's just lost. It might have been lost earlier. There could have been other ways, but this one looks Grover. That's what we used to call it in the dojo, Grover. That was code word for over. I don't know, maybe like knight G1 intending king F3, knight E2. We will say this man is nails, rapport. He's nails. He's not just going to sit on his butt, We got suggestions from Michael Wang about bringing the king to H3. Conceivable. It looked sad, though, it's got to be said. It's got to be said. That looks sad. All right. GF6. He's hosed. Oh, man, he's totally done. He's totally done. Oh, you know what I want to actually do? This will be for the next game, too. So, by the way, we're going to get a quick break after this. And then they're going to play game 2. So what I want to do is I'm going to find the live stream. So FIDE, rapport, Shankland. Okay, board 10, nice. We're watching the guy live. He's got his hair up in that nice bun. He's always chewing some gum or something. Sam's sitting down, got his little water out. He's like, you're done, buddy. You're done. This game was a little bit of an advertisement for the Caro, because Sam definitely didn't know about this weird system that Rapport threw at him, right? But he's like, okay, I know the basic moves. I know the basics. And now he's just so cooked here. And I want Sam to centralize his king on F7. It's a little bit off center, and it's very bothering me. So Sam, buddy, just say shatoop on your turn. Fix that king. Or Rapport, reach over, man. Just give it a little nudge. Give it a little nudge, buddy. Okay, here we go. Yeah, he's cooked. He's letting his time tick down. Dude, Sam's going. Okay, so let's just say the obvious. It's going to be very hard for Rapport. He has to win in the next round. Now, I don't want to count the chickens before they've been hutched, but he has to win in the next round. And Sam's going to have white. And I think Sam... Oh, he resigned. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So I'm only interested in a couple and like the Wonder games. You know, I've got limited interest in the other games. I have limited bandwidth. But I'm going to go look and see what's going on here. So I'm going to give a little click. And so the Svana Sargissian game still going. Leko Arageisi, complete mess. It would be a stunner if Leko could beat Arageisi today. I mean, yeah, the chess world would be on its head. It looks like he is much worse, though. Leko is right there. Okay, so then we got the Keimer. That would also be a stunner if Keimer lost. It would be sad for the chess world. He's number 4 in the world. He needs to be winning. Hard to evaluate that position. Very hard to evaluate. Okay. Then we got Maksutlu, Wei Yi. How's the Wonder doing, bruv? Oh, we got Sam, and the strongest Italian player since Greco. Oh, Sam's not looking good, buddy. That's looking crispy critters. Sam looks lost, bro. Okay. Then we got a Wonder. Let's click in on a Wonder. So, again, there's thousands of interesting games. We cannot cover them all. And we're going for fan favorites here. A Wonder and Sam. We're going to focus on Sam, but you know, if Sam's done, we're going to look at a Wonder. I have no idea what's happening. This is some kind of nasty King's Indian. Okay, what is happening here, buddy? Well, the basic take is that black is just better because he's going to take here. He's going to drop this knight here. He's going to put this rook over here. And our only weak point can't be got. At least that's what it looks like, that it can't be got. All right, so always count the pawns, Jesse, right? So GH, knight e6, technically it'll be equal pawns. But I definitely like black. Well, actually, also we got to say when knight e6 comes, the knight has options. It's not just d4, but probably f4. Even stronger. Looking super strong. So GH5, knight e6. I'm a GM today. I think white's in big trouble, dude. It's also very convenient that I have this maneuver to take out any pressure on d6. Okay, bishop f3, here we go. King h7 gets out of bishop d5. Now, if you check my pawn, I have the option of knight d4, but also, as I said, check to the miserable king and bishop e7. White is going to reroute the knight, but notice the knight was the only thing kind of doing something to us, right? Okay, we have a lot of options here. He says check first. It's a good practical thing at the least. You know, tell us, white, where you're going. Makes sense. He doesn't want to get cut off. Now we got lots of moves. Knight d4, knight f4, knight g5. White will have bishop e4 check, and that's a good thing. But king h6 is a good thing too, because I want to come up to this. I want to come up. King h6 might be a valid move. saying that I don't want to allow that. Now, I don't know if that's a real thing anyway, but king h6 could be like, I just want to get off the dark squares, the light squares anyway. Touch your coconut a little bit. Bishop h4. I wasn't looking at that. That was not on my radar. So the bishop wants to be active. He's saying the knight is not touching my coconut anymore. I don't want, right, and I want to get out of the way of any conceivable knight e4, knight d5. There comes our check. Now, as I said, that was the thing I was a little worried about, but it might be superficial. Like, we just might play knight f4 now and say, what? We might say, what? What do you want? This rook is arguably a little controversial, a little bit. Okay. Knight e4 looks good to me, buddy. I don't know. Knight f4, excuse me. I think our Eric Geisy won. Knight f4, I'm a GM today. All right, so looks like white is going to lose a pawn, but he does have an amazing knight. And black can choose between knight h5 and knight g6. Knight g6 is more intuitive, and then take with a rook. Oh, he takes with a king. Spicy. So the king's going to come to f5. Nice move. Nice move. The king wants to improve himself. The bishop, as we said, can always go back to e7. All right, so this is looking very powerful for black. White definitely needs a good move. King f5 is he's just going to be a strong piece. I think we would expect rook ed1 here. ed1. Oh, he's in big trouble. Rook ed1, right? I'm guessing bishop e7. Maybe on bishop e7 I could try rook b7, intending knight d6. I don't know, bishop f8, I got moves. Not like you're going to get me. But I do have to be careful. All right. Bishop e7 makes sense. Black would like to play king f5 and king e6. All right, knight c3. This doesn't look like it. Rook f7. That you could tell he's been dreaming about that move ever since he played bishop h4. Honestly, I think the knight's going to have to go back to e4. I don't know what his thing is. Yeah, bishop h4. That's what he wanted to do. That's been his dream. I have a dream. Okay, rook d2. Now, one of the things we've known about this dude Sargsyan is he's nails on the defense, dude. They call him nails. Now, we definitely need to fix our rook on a6. Bishop g5. Maybe superficial, but it doesn't really harm our position. You got me wrapped around your finger. Oh. We got Michael Wang complaining about the rook. Okay, rook h7. So we're going to do a little Manhattan transfer here. Rook h4. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Make him go passive. Oh, that's a nice move. Rook h4. Oh, he's coming back with a little talkie-talkie of his own. Now, can I take the pawn, or is there a dirty trick? There is a simple and dirty trick. He wants to play rook over Grover. So we're anticipating king f5. But this man that he's facing is a dirty animal, so we got to be careful. We don't have much time. King f5 is simply the intuitive move. I don't know, honestly, what else you're going to do. He gives a check. Whoo, nails. Nails, they call him nails. Rook e4 was a good move, but rook e3 also a good move, saying if you take, he's saying I can hold this. This guy is so good at holding these nasty positions. Maybe rook a7 now. Rook a7 intending rook. Oh, I'm good. I'm a GM today. Intending rook h7. So this pawn structure shift helped white a little bit. And at some point we might want to play a3 because our a4 pawn can become weak too. All right, rook v1. I feel it's going to get a little concrete now. e4 immediately. Dang. Wow. e4 immediately. So what does e4 do? It's going to take away the f3 and d3 squares and set up a problemito with rook h7. Very strong play. Very strong play. You want my pawn on d6, buddy? You can have it. So now rook d6, king f5, maybe knight c3, then check to the miserable king. Your e3 pawn will fall. Yeah, buddy. Ooh, we're playing good chess today. Again, this guy can defend any position. He don't play. Okay, here we go. Check the miserable king. Now, king g4 makes sense. Rook a2 makes sense. Whew, man. Ooh, he's going in for the kill, bruv. He is going in for the kill. Now we're going to be down a pawn. Now, I don't think we can take it. This is the problem. Well, we could play check first and then take it. It's getting pretty hot, actually. It's getting a little hot. If we play rook a2, there's rook f8, and we haven't done ourselves a favor. So we've lost our control. We got to say it. We've lost the control. Yeah. Even this whole thing, we're worse now, actually. We're worse. It's very unfair, but we are now worse. Are we worse? No, we're not worse. But we got called out in a way we didn't like. Okay. So we want to play a3, rook h2, rook a2. He's just going to go for it. It's really difficult to get at that pawn. This could get very scary very fast, my friends. We might be, I was going to say effed, but I didn't say it. We might be effed. Dang, that thing turned around on us. It was the king g4 thing that was a little too spicy. Ooh, man, that hurt. Man, that hurt. I mean, c6, I'm not seeing the magic. I am not seeing the magic. Yep. Oh, we're hosed. Dang it. Oh. Okay, he's saying it's not over yet. Probably is over, though. He's fighting. Okay. Okay, two people can be nails here, friend. Now, king b2 looks winning. But king b2, there's rook d1. Amazing. Okay, so there's never hope. Hope is still alive. Knight c3. I don't know about knight c3. Bishop b6. Okay. Okay. All right. Knight c3. He's definitely holding on to his advantage. Black would need something amazing now. Oh, he's about to get crisped. All right, so the default move is rook a2. So notice that if rook takes, knight takes, king f3, knight c3, you can't play king e3 because of knight d5. So, knight d5 would be the default move here. Knight d5. He plays rook a7. Also looks strong. Now, does bishop... Yeah, he's trying to mess with us. Bishop e5. I thought bishop b6 maybe too, but okay. We are trying to achieve a drawn position somehow. King f3. If we get a chance, of course, that's what we want to do. If c7, we have rook h8 or bishop takes king f3. Rook e7 looks very simple and strong. The king does not want to play king f5. If bishop c3, we have c7. All right, here we go. King f5. Okay, c7, rook h8. Knight d5 looks like a strangulation to me. It's a real bummer that the king no longer has king f3. I think white's going to win this basic with king b3, c4, and that kind of thing. 10 seconds to move is a hell of a drug, too. That's a long time. I don't know what you want to do, buddy. King b3, bishop d6. That's his. Yeah, that's a good try anyway. We're gonna probably play rook h7 here. Ooh, king c4. Take it easy, man. Take it easy. Oh man. All right. Rook h7. Black is always going to be looking for some way to like sack the pawn. Maybe king e5 just to prevent king b5. King e6 maybe. Oh, don't lose on time, bro. It says he lost on time, but he probably didn't. Okay, king e5. Does knight b6 win the game? Oh, he played knight at rook a4. Well, the game's over now. Sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes we're like, well, I trust you. Oh, wonder, buddy. You had a great game, buddy. I'm sorry, buddy. That was rough. This guy's really a good example of tough defense. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to this one. We're going to go back. I think I need to, it's not going to keep me on the same board, but, so we're just going to go back, down. Oh, Keimer's still playing. That was a draw. We have, I'm sure, loads of interesting results. Lodici, draw. MVL wins. Liang loses. Black wins with rapport. So, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get a break. We're all going to take a break. This game should be starting kind of soonish. All right, here we go.
Welcome to Dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that ain't hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM, blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the absentness, daily practices, rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis. With lengthy game analysis, with sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hack, and
Mouse.
he got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM, blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo. I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the absentness, daily practices, rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis. With lengthy game analysis, with sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training hours a day, playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I give up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I...
All right, here we go. I think they're getting ready. This little stream I got watching them, they're not sitting at the board yet though. A little hard to know when it's gonna start. Let's go through those other games. So we'll start at the bottom. Oh, not that one. So, sometimes it really hoses me. All right, so there we go. We got, all right. So they drew, that was round 3. So here we go. We got this one. Oh, Wonder, buddy. That was a hard roll. Now you do get a chance, I Wonder. You do get a chance. This dude Grebnev is gonna go down. Oh, Ladici, man. I thought the guy had a great game. I don't know what happened. And then this famous battle of the old dudes. This thing is still going on. No one can beat anybody. And we got this Chimera Sipenko thing going. Dang. And Prague Dubov, man. Now, one of the amazing things was Dubov just made a draw instantly against Prague. And Prague said, sure, I'll take the white pieces. Okay. Leko Erigaisi. That looks like it's already started, but that can't be true, right? I think they start all at the same time, and this thing isn't moving. What's going on? I think somebody just has the pieces up wrong or something, you know? I don't think that's a real thing right there. Okay, and then we got this Fana dude. So in terms of my own interest, I got Shanklin's thing, obviously, and then we're going to have a Wonder, and then Sevian, I guess, Arjun. There's a lot of drama. There's no doubt about it. This Arjun one, if he doesn't get through, it's like, oh man, what's going to happen to the candidates? Same thing with Keimer. All right, I'll turn you guys on to something. Here's my little stream that I'm following on the side. And maybe I will occasionally bring this one up. Yeah, I'm going to put it on both of my little windows. Get this ready. Some people are checking with the engine or something. You're allowed to check after. I don't know if there's strict rules anyway, but you are allowed to, the dojo rule says you can check after. You know, the main thing we're doing though is we're just trying to see the game through their eyes and also maybe improve our own game by looking, and then, you know, you check with the engine, you might learn something. You usually will. Sometimes it's so weird that you're like, okay. This might be technically illegal for them, for me to watch them a little bit here. I don't know. But, we're just, this is our way of knowing when the game's actually going to start. Also, it's kind of cool to see the pregame rituals. In a lot of ways, there's no better thing in life than drinking coffee and watching some chess, dude. Or playing some chess. Maybe doing some chess, But you know what I'm saying, getting up early. It's so dark outside right now. It's so dark. We had a weird comment yesterday, which I don't know how to take. But Shirov was, not Shirov, but his name is like Shirov Quantum or something like that. Maybe he's in the chat. Anyways, he was saying, no one know. I don't know anyways what Sam's condition was. He had a problem, a health problem. And he was saying it had something to do with like involuntary mouth motion or something. I don't know, dude. No idea. I once had a student. I guess he's still my student, but I haven't seen him in a while. He's got health problems. He's an older dude, but he's a very famous neurologist, and he can diagnose people from a distance, for all kinds of different conditions. Be like, oh yeah, that's that. That's that. So maybe he would be able to diagnose those little tiny subtleties like that. I have no idea. Foos just say we're discussing my suggestion for Wonder to have played King F3 instead of Bishop C7. Okay, and what did you find out? Here's our guy. He's showing up at the table. He's got two dose waters. Sam's already drank his water. I tell you what, in this rapid thing, you do not want to have to go to the potty. You definitely don't. I would have some coffee though, bruv. Give me some coffee. I don't want to drink no water. I need a coffee. Water. The hell's water, dude? What are you doing? Water. We don't want no water. Oh, this is going to be good. I don't know much about Rapport's, let's call it its backstory, but he also, like Sam, had a fall. He was top 10. It was looking for a moment like he was going to be a world championship contender. He dropped a lot of rating points, got depressed about chess. And interestingly, like his comeback wave had a lot to do in my head with helping Ding. He was very successful in helping Ding be competitive in his matches. And he has both the Nepo match and then, of course, the Gukesh match. And Ding was just a depressed dude, so he was not just helping with the chess, but like helping him with his own mentality, I think. And that last game, here they go. All right, my friends, we're switching views. We're going over here. We might not be able to see it immediately. Like that one might be faster. Oh, criminy. Here we go. All right, so Rapport. Is he going to gamble? You bet he's going to gamble, bro. Oh, he's gambling, all right. So, big time gamble. And here's a quick shot of them playing. Here they go, actually. You have to always make sure you go all the way to the edge for that. In any case, this is a very promising setup for white. And I think queen d2 is the right move here. Sam doesn't care at all, bruv. He doesn't care at all. G4, bruh. What are you doing? G4. Hey, homie, don't play, dude. Homie, don't play. All right, so G4, knight C6. And, wow. If you're playing for a draw, G4 ain't it, is it? G4 definitely isn't it. I'm not thrilled with G4, gotta say it. But, you know, obviously Sam has thought about this move. All right, H3. Okay, so the intention could be on E5. I'm just going to play knight E2, bishop G2, get myself a nice setup. If you ever play G5, I'll play, or you play H5, I'll play G5 and say your knight on F6 is poor. Now, what's interesting is there's a different perk setup where you play like G3, it's real slow. G3, bishop G2, knight E2, and then later you play for H3, G4. Now, DE here is an interesting momentito. It suggests, hey, maybe we are playing for a draw. So if knight E5, we're going to say F4 is good for our coconuts. So that's the cruelty of being white in this position, is that we can bully black like this. Now, for my coconuts, DE is still a very interesting endgame for black to play. I don't think white is better at all there. At all. So, just because you get the queens off, Sam, I don't know about this DE move. So I'm going to go ahead and say like the objectively best move was probably knight E2. But now he's hit him with this DE thing. I'm pretty sure Montex is fine for black. That F4, I don't like it. So this queen trade thing, we get this in a lot of variations. But right here, all of the positives seem to be for black. Now he takes with a knight. Very frisky. To me, F4 looks simple and strong. Yeah, simple and strong. Okay. Nordovich asks, is Ding okay these days? I don't think so. I don't think Ding's doing okay at all. Ding said, you know, he was energized after the match to play. He hasn't played one game since the match. I mean, I don't. Maybe he has. I don't. But you know, maybe he played like one game in the Chinese league or something. So 95 is a very frisky move, which encourages Sam to take it up a notch with F4. There he goes. So he's a little bit like Yospem now, you know? He's all in. He's all in like Yospem. All right, knight d7. I assume knight c6 was plausible too. I definitely think white's better. Simple moves could be knight e2, bishop g2, knight f3. All of them look good. I like knight e2 a little bit more just to put my bishop on g2 and feel good about life, but you know. So knight d7 is basically saying I'm going to try to create play against your e4 pawn. Nah, buddy. I don't know if you are. So like bishop g2, knight e2. We're super solid. We got that space advantage. At some point, we could play g5. I like queen d2. Queen d2 just keeps our cards open, right? We could decide on the knight move later. I like it a lot. Also, if you play knight c5, I might want to threaten. Might want to play castles just to have a nice little threat. Castles in general I get out of any queen h4 funky business. All right, knight f6 comes. He's definitely in a jam. Now, this suggests to us that we should consider knight e2, g3 so that we could set up g5 and there's no knight h5. All right. One nice thing for white is I feel like with bishop g2 and knight e2, his center is very well protected. Bishop g2 also really dissuades any funky b5s because we'll light you up. Oh, man. I just want to say, I think these castles long. Okay, good. Castles. Now I think bishop g2 or knight e2 are both reasonable. If you play bishop g2, maybe you're a little concerned about like a knight b6 happening to you. You have to deal with knight c4. Could be potentially annoying, but the knight's kind of a chump over there. Actually, we could just take it, bruv. Let's take it and then take it. So bishop g2 is definitely fine. I'm guessing knight e2 is also completely fine. The knight on g3 is cool because he covers this square like a gazillion times, and then, like I said, he's looking to do this to you. I think, Sam, we want to be careful, Sam, not to think too much here, bud. I like bishop g2 because I've already dismissed knight b6. Good. I'm a GM today. And I just want to make sure that b5 just doesn't happen. So I would say white has a clear advantage here. Like a very nice clear advantage. Oh, man. I would say a mild bummer about modern chess is the computer makes the perk seem as if it's not playable. In practice, I think it's fine, you know? But it's a bummer when you're like studying your opening and you turn it on and the computer's like you're almost dead, you know? And I know from experience in this position with bishop e3, the computer thinks you're almost dead. All right, rook e8. I like knight e2 a lot. We'll maybe double check for tricks, but I like knight e2 to g3. Looks very simple and strong. And it's a real bummer for black because it's very hard for him to even move at this point. Very hard to even move. I think Sam's wasting it, man. 92. I'm a GM today. That one was a little easier, you know, but still, I gotta say it every time I get one right. All right, rook b8. I'm guessing knight g3 now. And we might see a variation like b5, g5, b4, in which case I can just play knight ce2, and I feel really good about the life. Oh, that's a nice move, Sam. Look at that, bishop a7. Now we can come back to e3. Maybe f2 is even stronger. But that just shows that, hey, you, I can bully you. I can really bully you, man. Oh, that's cold. Intuitively, f2 looks better than e3, but probably e3 is fine too. I guess you could think about bishop d4. Yeah, but bishop d4 is probably fine as well. Sam's thinking about it. Sam's really playing this nice. Okay, so he goes back to e3. Now, it's a little funny. I guess the argument for e3 is that he is on that diagonal to h6. It feels funny because he's getting whacked by the rook, right? So you'd think d4 and f2 are a little bit more natural. My guess is they're all good moves. And the fact that Knight g3 is going to overprotect e4. The claim is like, you're not really messing with me on the e-file at all. Yeah. Now one of the many cool things here is Black had an idea with rook b8, and Sam's like, well, you need to find a different idea. You need to find a different idea, bruv. You can't play b5, buddy. You cannot play b5. I'm such a fool for you. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Dojo says in an interview with the site in 24, he said he was dysphoric and had problems sleeping. Huh, dysphoric. I'm going to have to look at that up later. Okay, so, Kraai. Focus, buddy, focus. H5, oh, buddy. Now, maybe this is the kind of thing that Black needs to at least try. And here's where I wanted, maybe for something like this, I like bishop d4 better. Because then, we can do a g5 or whatever. We're probably still going to play g5, by the way. And the ultimate problem, the whole idea of g4, by the way, is maybe we'll get an attack later. But more importantly, we'll want to kick that knight from the center. Make him go somewhere nasty. Ooh, Sam plays bishop f3. Very aggressive move. Oh, that's a cruel move. That's a cruel move, buddy. I'm sure g5 was a nice position for white, but this is crueler because we're saying, dude, I'm going to play gh if you don't do something. And I'm still looking to play g5 now that you opened my h file. Oh, buddy, it's not looking good. Okay, so default solution here would be bishop b6, cb, and now g5. All right, knight b6 is very concrete. Bishop b6 looks like it's just a crusher, dude. And after bishop b6, we could play g5, but if we don't like g5 for whatever reason, we could just play queen takes d6. Now, it is true that when Black did get our good bishop, if that's a thing you're into. White has so many good moves here, my friends. G5, queen d6. I'm assuming, by the way, that f5 is also a very nice advantage for white. f5 also looks really good because you kill bishop e6. Okay, let's call this g5 move the standard move. If knight g4, we have queen takes d6. If bishop g4, we have gf6. I think he is done. I think it's over. Knight g4, queen d6, the queen trade is secured. Now, if you're Black, you're hoping like somehow, bruv, I gotta get I have one asset, and it's my bishop on g7. And what is true about that bishop is it's going to prevent us being Black from getting mated. Because if like queen h7, I just play king f8, and I say, what? It's going to try to prevent us from getting mated. Now, if you don't want to exchange queens, I guess you got to play knight d7. After queen d6, though, a little bit hard to know what to do. All right, knight h7, a truly nasty move. We're anticipating queen d6 here. Knight h7, presumably with the hope of bringing the knight around the mountain with like knight f8 to e6. Now, in addition to queen d6, he could play e5, but I mean queen d6. Pick up sticks. Let's go. Whose chess likes my f5? I was a little suspect of it. Like maybe I'd give Black a chance, sack a pawn, play knight d7, e5 or something. This is a dream. Look at this thing. I'm getting the queens off. The knight on h7 owes me time to come back. None of my pieces are really bad, and all black has to show for it is a bishop on g7. Now, a move like knight d5, something like that, is going to be considered. Notice that if knight d5, bishop f8, I'm pretty sure we have rook h7 there. Ooh. So knight d5 is what we want to do. It's what we want to do. Oh, yeah, knight d5 is just, and we're threatening knight c7. Oh, Sab, let's do it, buddy. So, knight d5, bishop f8, rook h7. Welcome to the dojo. Oh, buddy. We probably want to calculate it out. There's a couple variations a little hectic. So rook h7, king h7, check to the miserable king, maybe king h8. Oh, he does it. Knight e8. And then maybe, if I'm concerned about anything, like some kind of bishop h3, intending just to take my knight on over there. But that's a lot of coconuts. Okay. Now, on bishop f8, if I decide that rook h7 doesn't work, I also have rook f6. I don't like rook b6. I mean, rook b6 maybe. Okay, so he plays rook b8. He believed us. Now, my good friends, we could definitely consider knight f6 right now. We could consider knight c7 right now. Things are looking good. We could consider e5. By the way, bishop f8, we could also just play knight f6, buddy. Oh, yeah, that's probably the simpleton. Well, no, knight f6, I don't like it as much. All right, so e5, very much a good-looking move. Knight f6, boom. Very simple and strong. It seems to me like knight f6, gf6, bishop f8 is the only... I wouldn't call it a hope. I wouldn't call it a hope. It's crispy critters, man. It's so evil with that pawn on f6. Sam's got plenty of time. He's got him wrapped around his finger. We will soon play e5, and this bishop is going to be looking to d5. The knight, whenever we want, come to d4. You know, do some things. Like if your bishop thinks it's going to f5, we'll say, hello. Poke you over there, buddy. And basically, he's going to take some time, Rep Warriors, here to try to imagine what's going wrong with his life. Come up with something. You know, something. It's not so pleasant to be eliminated. Dude, Sam's bringing it, man. Really cool comeback story. And actually, while we're here, I'm going to admit something. So I live with Sam in the GM house. And I've seen a lot of talented players from when they were kids. I did not think that Sam was going to make it, dude. I really didn't. You know, to be a top player or something, no. That wasn't on my radar at all. At all. And I think, you know, what's really amazing about the Sam story is he did it really with hard work. You know, very hard work, day after day. He also started late, like I did. I started like when he was around 12. All right, here we go. Knight f6, as predicted. We're guessing bishop f8 now. And the rook has several good moves to go to. Rook d3 is, of course, the most natural. I'm such a fool for you. Mm-mm. And pawn on f6 is a bad man. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. Also, bishop f8, we might just play here with the simple thought of like, well, I'm going to come here, son, and then I'm going to come here. And then it's time to resign. Yes, sir. Bishop h8. Oh, no, bro. Oh, God, no. Don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, so the easy plan for white is e5, bishop d5, knight d4. Here we come. Yeah, e5 for sure. Let's roll. It's honestly, it's looking like it's time to resign. It's looking like it's time to resign. Yeah. Got me wrapped around my finger. Oh. All right, we got bishop e6 on the board. White has so many different good moves. Knight d4, b3. There's no rush to do anything, honestly. I like knight d4 best. Bishop d5 is fine. We're basically up a piece. And black can't even dream really of g5 because of this. Oh, and then we have a simple plan here, buddy. This is called a simple plan. Oh, any g5, it's Grover, as they say. It's Grover. It's so hard. We got our resigns on the boards, my friends. Sam did it, dude. Let's go. If you don't see it here, we can bring it up. This is this dude in the turban here. I don't know what we call that thing. Maybe that's a native Goan thing. I don't know. I don't know about it. But there is the result. Sam's signing some score sheets. Sam goes to the next round, dude. He goes to the next round. Dang. Dang. You know, that's a big deal. Okay. So, I'm going to take it back over here. We're going to go check out a wonder. How's a wonder doing? And then I'm going to call it. Where is this dude? Wait, now this is confusing to me. So, come on in, buddy. I can't find anything. There we go. Bam. Okay, so here's our number 2. I got Firesnap joining me. How you doing, bud?
Good.
So Sam won, and we'll probably end the stream soonish. We're just looking at a wonder here who has to desperately win as white. It looks bad, too. It does not look like a good position for white. Yeah, it looks like black is gorgeous. Looks also like black could do several different things here. Actually, what we could do, you need to comb your hair, bud, or maybe you just look cool that way. You just look cool that way too, man. Let's go. Liang, Sargsyan. Maybe we'll get a live feed on this bad boy. I think we got here.
No evil.
Tie break.
Only evil. Only Dojo evil.
All right, so we got knight d3, rook d3,
So we got 6 minutes here.
c5. So just note, my friends, that a little bit of a similar dynamic to the last game, where we got that very similar pawn structure, just with reverse colors, where I thought a wonder was doing great as black. And here Sargsyan's definitely also doing great. But a wonder has a plan, and it's just like, I'm going to play knight f1, e3, and then talk to you on one of these squares, depending on what life looks like by the time we get there. Also, you probably want to play bishop g5 someday, but then this pawn is hanging. Now, queen c6, fine. I'm going to guess f3. Let's play f3, bud. There's no need. He plays queen e2, fine. I think we'll probably end up playing f3. Bishop g5, kind of as expected. By the way, I didn't like queen e2 because he left the pressure on d6. And now Nolo puedo this play because of bishop c4. Maybe you could, by the way. Maybe you could. I don't know. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even think about it, Kraai. Sargsyan's kind of up in his chair as if to say, you're hosed, buddy. What do you got? Bishop d2 played. Now this is a positional catastrophe because white is now going to trade off his best bishop, and also rook b2 is on the agenda for black. Oh, this might be over. The wonders dreams might have died, my friends. He's kind of sitting up being like, do I got him? Is this game over? Crispy critters? Crunchy turtles? What do the kids say these days, bud, when things are toast?
Cooked.
Cooked, yeah, cooked. He's cooked. Now, rook b2, he's locked in. Right, bud? He's locked in. Knight f1, okay, so it's true that we don't just immediately lose the game. He's locked in, buddy. Yep, Gabriel here is trying to end all of our dreams. Queen a4 would be, well, no, queen a4, you just hang the d6 pawn, so don't do that, buddy. All right, simple building move, rook fb8. Queen e1, sad but true. Now black at least has to make a judgment call here. We are anticipating bishop d2. Notice that that pawn on a5 could also become weak. Anything is better here for black, even this weird bishop e7.
Is he about to eat a mint? Looks like he's about to eat a mint.
You think he's about to eat a mint?
Yeah, he just grabbed a mint.
He needs a mint. Junior mint.
He keeps chewing on his bottom lip.
Firesnap, do you know where Armenia is, bud?
Yeah, there's a podcast that I really like, and the co-host is from Armenia.
Okay, cool. This dude Sargsyan is from Armenia. And a pro-life tip, if you ever meet somebody with the last name ending in IAN or YAN, probably aren't Armenian. All right, he goes bishop e7. This is kind of a safety play. However, it is going to allow our boy. Oh, it's not going to allow our boy. See, I was thinking, well, our boy gets to play knight e3. He does not. The queen on e4 pawn is hanging on e4. I wanted our boy to play f3 like 3 million years ago, so now it might be time to play f3 so that we can play knight e3 next. Rook g3? You know, that's some spicy sauce, bows. I don't know. That looks like a superficial move, rook g3. Looks like king h7 just kind of meets it. Is there a special thing he's got after this? Maybe queen e3 next, intending rook g7 like a madman? I don't know. Do we believe it? No, we don't. Oh, man, this is a bummer for our boy.
We're rooting for a wonder.
Yep. This guy he's playing is just tough as nails, boss. he has survived time and again against our boy here after being worse. The bummer about Queen E3, dreaming about Rook G7. I mean, there's other moves for black, but would just be Bishop G5. Kawak. Kawak, kathwunk. But I wonder definitely needs to rustle up a trick here. His position's nasty, and he has to win. Nasty, nasty girls. It looks like he's reaching for that Queen E3 move. We got a question. Doesn't a wonder get another chance? No, this is it. If he loses this, it's all over. He plays Queen E2. What?
What?
That's a bizarre move. So he self-pins himself, maybe dreaming of Queen H5 or something? I don't know about any of this. Maybe dreaming about if Bishop H4 that will play Rook G7, King G7, Queen H5 with some attack?
And then Queen takes H6.
Something like that?
That's what I would usually dream when I'm playing a game.
Okay,
but
good.
Then it usually never works out.
So Queen E2 has a dream. One thing though, I wasn't sure he's threatening anything, because if you play Queen H5, I mean, maybe there's Queen E4 is hanging. Now, our boy Gabriel, he is in time pressure. It's a real thing. They're both going to be in time pressure. They essentially already are, but it's getting a little hot. So Bishop H4, probably, that's me. Maybe the computer would like that, but Rook G7, Queen H5, you'd at least be scared. Queen E8, simple and strong, holding the H5 square. However, it's also passive because now the knight is allowed to play knight E3 now because the queen is no longer talking to our coconut.
And now Rook on the 1 file.
One simple idea for our guy here is if knight E3, Bishop G5 is again very sensible because you've just pinned yourself. So we're guessing Bishop G5 here for white, simple and strong.
Feeling that might have been a time pressured move.
Rook B1. Now, Rook B1 is the move of a man who is trying to make a draw, okay? Mm-hmm. He just wants to liquidate the casino. He wants to liquidate the casino. I don't know. So this is not always the best strategy, liquidating the casino.
Wow, that was very fast.
Mm-hmm. Now, maybe just Rook B2 here. He might be wanting Bishop G5, too. Bishop G5 might be a real nasty move for us to face with Bishop F4 threats. Well, the liquidation of the casino is looking pretty good, honestly, because one thing that just happened is, like, the rook on G3 is a bit sidelined, and so we just traded off the good defender on C1. So it ain't looking good. Bishop G5 looks strong. Rook B2 looks strong here for black. I think Bishop G5 is the most annoying. Though Bishop G5, you do have to deal with Queen D3. I don't believe that for half a second, but you gotta be wondering about it. He's wondering about it a little too much, maybe. What are you doing, buddy? Don't lose on time. He's gotten a very good posture, but it's a nervous posture. A wonder, dude? That guy, you can never read what's going on in that guy's mind. He's just sitting there, bro. We're talking about comeback stories. A wonder's a comeback story, man. Oh, man. Again, I wouldn't have said he was going to make it. No way. Especially because when I first met him, he seemed like he wasn't ready. He said he was like, I want to do some school or stuff. School? We don't do school here, right? Fire Snap? We don't do school. Get out of here. All right, here we go. Knight D5. This has been the dream of the night, I don't know, for the last 10 moves. He finally gets there. And the weenie move would have been Bishop D5, but no. We're not doing no weenie. We're just playing bishop d8.
I feel like that one column rook on black is a threat
To the miserable king?
the king is chopped and can't go g3.
The king is chopped?
Trapped.
Oh,
You could also say
chopped, dude. I like that. Fire snap is my guide to lingo, the kid lingo here. Now, f2 is hanging, but our rook is also hanging. So rook b2 would be the most natural thing to do. He goes all the way back. He's saying, I'm just being safe. And yeah, he's just going to try to hold the position. Now, the drama of playing this way, of course, is, it's time pressure. Mistakes will be made. And a wonder can be a tricky man, too. He can also be a tricky boy.
A wonder is definitely winning in time.
Yeah, he's winning in time. That's right.
I mean, duh, but like, I do think that's one benefit, and it does not. That rook b7 move kind of looks like he doesn't have a mastermind plan anymore. He's just figuring out what will happen.
White's trying to find a mastermind plan too here, if I was playing, I'd just play rook f3. I got to defend f2 anyway, and then we'll see where the queen goes. Like, she might be upset to let me into f8. I don't know. Of course, it could just be rook f3, queen e8. I don't know. But that, we got to defend the pawn. What else? Our position is nasty, by the way.
He also
Our
asked
position is nasty.
his queenie.
All right, rook f3 finally comes. Queen e8 is the safe move.
Are we not looking at just rook takes the queen? Oh, wait.
Yeah, well, that's why.
Never mind.
So queen e8 to protect the rook invasion from f8.
Yeah.
Bishop c3, I don't understand that move. Maybe to prevent rook b2. Yeah, so Sarkisian went from like a position that was winning to one that's, stable and nice. But, tricks can happen now. All right, knight b6 is allowed. Wonder says, sure, I'll take that, bruv. So, black needs to defend d6. The basic move here would be bishop e7. He does it. Black, again, doesn't have to prove anything. If a wonder wants to sit, he's fine with sitting. Rook e3. Okay. So the rook says, you know what? I didn't want to be on f3 too much anyway. Rook b8. Look, feels like just a move like we're sitting. Maybe the rook is dreaming of going to f8, though. That might be a little extra thing he's getting for himself. And now a move like queen g6 or queen f7 suggests itself so that we can cruise over. By the way, the bishop on c3 probably wants to go back to d2. I don't know what it's doing there. Is he dreaming of an f4? I guess as white, maybe that's your big dream. Dream of f4. All right, queen g6 comes, makes a lot of sense. Similar to queen f7, it enables rook f8.
Get that e4 pawn out the way. That's what we need. Just pin that king.
Rook e3, he comes back. Oh, you're farting on me, bud. You get out of here. You gotta be in the dojo and we come in here and farting. These fine people woke up this morning, dude, to watch the game, and here you come in and stinking up their houses all over the world. Dang. Farting on stream? What are you doing?
You've probably farted on streams a million times.
No, that's one of the golden rules of the dojo. No farting on stream. Everybody knows about that.
But you can do it at dinner all the time.
Oh, I never farted at dinner, but. All right, here we go. Queen f7. We're expecting rook f3. And the bummer for white is he just doesn't have no ideas. All right, rook f8 would be a basic move. I don't know. Bishop d8 would also be a simple move to play here.
Did he lose the dream of rook g7?
Oh yeah, that dream's long gone.
Dang.
Well, actually, it's never totally gone. One dream, it's not going to happen anytime soon. It would be f4 to light up this thing here. Of course, at the moment, I'll just take it with my queensies. He took. Now, is this mildly controversial? Is this mildly controversial? Wrapped around my finger. Oh. Okay. So queen g4. f4 is now, I think, at least a potential threat.
Looks like he's hooking up for something that doesn't exist.
That might be true. Now, is there something wrong, for example, with bishop a5? Taking your pawnsies? He's thinking about taking his pawnsies. He's like, is there a dirty trick? He says, I don't want to face your dirty trick. I'm going to play bishop g5 instead.
He's going to play it.
Rook f3,
what?
queen g6. We are now threatening to trade queens with bishop f4. But definitely black is pushing his luck a little bit. And the wonder does have the time advantage. So maybe g3 could be a default decision here for white. At some point we might land on him with queen e6. I don't know. We could land on him with rook f8, queen c8. There's definitely potential now for us. I like g3. I like g3. I didn't like bishop g5. No, I didn't like this. Now Wonder's looking. This is by the way, Wonder has a chance now. Notice there's no direct counterplay for black. So if we have ideas like rook f8 and queen c8, we're in the game. If we hit queen c8, we're going to touch a6 too. We officially now have dreams have been announced. Now maybe g3 bishop c1 is our concern. There's a lot of questions involved there, though. I could play queen c8 there. Yeah, we're getting some moves. Rook f8. Now, what this claims is that bishop f4 doesn't do anything. Now, by the way, our bishop is good. His bishop is bad. He traded off on d5. His good bishop. Not a good thing. If bishop e7, he loses instantly to rook h8. If bishop f4, I think we play g3, trade the queens, and then we play either rook a8 or rook d8. Both of them look like a hell of a drug.
Lang is looking a little bit more relaxed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the other dude's bugging out. This could go to the next tiebreak, my friends, if Liang wins this. All right, white is definitely officially better now. I think queen g4 is forced. Queen g4 looks forced.
Oh my god.
All right, so now we have rook d8 and we have rook a8. Both of them look tasty. I think we might just be winning here, Firesnap.
That's definitely a good sign. Definitely a position, not a material.
Now it's a little bit spoiled for choice, I think, because rook d8 and rook a8 both look amazing.
If you can, at some point, you'll go d2 and push the pawn on g4.
Arguably, rook d8 is more beautiful because once I take d6, then the d pawn's just as good as the a pawn, and e5 and c5 will then be critical. Man, he's got a chance. He's got a chance here, bud.
Don't mess it up. I wonder.
f4. Oh, he's going for the gold, dude. What are you doing, I wonder? Holy moly. What a move. f4.
Holy.
Oh my God, he's trying to light him up. Rook b3. fe, he doesn't care. He's figured it out. Holy crap. Hold on, my friends. It's not over yet.
To the dojo.
I don't know if it's welcome to the dojo. We got rook c3, takes, bishop g5, d7. he's going to give the bishop back, but he's going to lose some coconuts in the process. Bishop g5, here it comes. All right, we're in. Ooh, he's just going for the gold e5. I don't know.
He wants that queen.
Oh, dude, he's just. So if rook d3, he wants e6, takes e7, goodbye. Ooh. Oh, it's cold, man. That's cold. He's got him.
Let's go.
Oh, that was amazing. A wonder. f4, man. Ooh, the pawns roll. And he's stuck. So now he can't move the rook because e7 will happen. If he plays c4, d7, c3, d8, goodbye.
He's only got 30 seconds left.
Oh, it's game over, man. He did not. Oh, he was not losing this game. Oh, buddy. Welcome to the dojo. Rook e5, maybe a good move. Maybe a good move. I'm going to admit I didn't see it.
But still.
No, it's not but still. That might hold.
What
If
if
d7, we got rook d5.
Rook e8 though?
Rook e8, I'll just take on d5. Oh, Wonder, I'm sorry, bro. This guy is Nails. I think that should be his name.
Nails.
Nails.
Nails Sargassian.
Looks like Lako lost. That was expected. Arjun advances. I'm all for the favorites winning. So Aragaisi and Keimer, I think they belong in the candidates. We'll cover their games later in later broadcasts. Rook c8. All right, that's a tricky move. So c4, king g2. Holy moly, king g2 instantly. If rook d5 will lose to e7. c3, e7 happens anyway. All right, so black is going to be forced to play bishop e7. And then a Wonder's saying, you know what? I'm going to play that pawn endgame, or rook endgame, up a pawn. Okay.
Well, now it's just free pushes for the pieces.
Well, he's going to play bishop takes e7 here, bud.
Whoa. Okay.
King g6, the most ambitious. Rook c3. Okay. I don't know about that one.
Guess that's a bad idea.
No, I think rook c3 was fine, but I didn't know about king g6.
What happened to the bishop?
He sacked his bishop long ago, my friend. Long ago, the bishop went away.
Oh my god.
So rook c8 will force rook, bishop e7. However, we also have a move like rook c5. Rook c6 maybe. Rook c6 looks like we at least keep the game going really juicy. Oh, those pawns are definitely worth a piece. I think rook c6 is a good move. Basically, Sargsyan decided that he did not want to try to defend the endgame down a pawn. That was the rook endgame down a pawn. He wanted to get fancy, and now he's going to pay the price, I think, after rook c6.
There's only 27 seconds left on the clock for the Armenian dude. Get real.
And the Wonder's really trying to figure it out here. Rook c5. Okay, so that was not my thought.
Why rook c6?
So rook c5 defends against the basic rook d5. Check to the miserable king. King f2. Okay. Rook e5 back. Now, one thing, I like rook c6 better than this, but maybe he has an idea here that I don't understand. Bishop e3 is definitely a threat here. Oh, I think rook c5 was a bad move. I liked rook c6 a lot. Now, we could get a very similar position, honestly, with rook c6, rook d5, rook a6. You still do that. So in that, we're down like a tempo compared to what we had on rook c6. Unclear if black can do anything. There it goes. So rook c6. I was right, fire snap. He's lost a tempo on my variation. Give me my tempo back, I wonder.
Are you a GM?
Am I a GM today? I'm a super GM today, bud. Okay.
Pawnee taking.
Now, my main concern here, well, there's a lot of concerns, but could black hold the endgame with bishop takes e7?
Yeah.
In general, we would say yes, but at least we get to torture the guy. In the other position, bishop e7 would be met by rook a7.
Oh, we still have the
Oh, so there we go.
So we're not starting from scratch.
So I think this is a technically drawn position. However, we're not.
Time game position. Get that time down.
So here's the basic idea, my friends. Once this pawn advances, as he will, the rook will go to a5, and your king will not be able to scooch over because this king will come over here. The king is hiding really well behind this g7 pawn, so there's no tricky wickies. Oh, wonder, buddy. I thought you had it. You just needed to play my rook c6 move, bruv. Come on now. You lost a tempo on my variation. So a6 looks like he's reaching his hand for it. Rook a5 will come instantly. That's a known drawski-woski. That's a known drawski-woski. Oh. Yep, he's bummed out. He's going to give him a little check. Why not? A little checky-wecky.
He's still gonna win that game. It just sucks puns.
He's going to try to massage him.
Like really?
Yeah, this is called the massage. When you're not winning, but you just want to keep the game going, maybe your opponent's nerves will crack or something, you give him a massage. Unfortunately, black has just a very simple conception of how to play this position. And the simple bummer is if the king runs, then
We are up them pawns.
the white king runs, we will start attacking your pawns. And I think rook b3, rook g right away, it's just instant draw here. Instant draw. Also, the black rook can get behind the a-pawn. Now, he plays rook g5, just holding his initial defensive line. Simple chess. Could have done other things. Simple chess. There goes a6, rook a5. He was just waiting for it. And now there's a lot of different moves for black. Rook a3, rook a1. So again, actually rook a3 I like best because
Can we not just push the
king f6, fine.
what? Oh.
So notice black is playing with a conception more than anything else. The conception being like, no, you
But
can't.
we just need king f4, then we can push that pawn right into the golden zone.
Into the golden zone? You're going to push some pawns into my golden zone, bud? I don't know how I feel about that. Now, rook a4 takes g3 g4 is a simple way. He's going to play g6 and then king g5.
Why is he
Simple
actually
chess.
his king into the open?
Well, this king, bro, he is coming over here to enter what you're calling the golden zone so we can help shepherd this pawn up. This rook can't do him all by himself. He goes here, and he goes here. And then what? I put my king here. How do you ever move your rook? You can't. Oh, no, because I'll take your pawn. That's the basics of this endgame. Oh, man. Oh, Wonder's got his head in his hand. He knows he's toast. Oh, man. Yep. Nardovich was rooting for rook c6 too. I was as well, bruv. What were you doing? Yo, buddy. Oh, I lost my YouTube stream. Hold on. Let's get it back. Boom. Yeah, I did. See, I got this one. But bam.
You haven't had this open this entire time.
Well, dude, I had it and then I moved it to go see the other thing, Okay. Got some cool comments over there. Sorry, I neglected the YouTube chat.
Not very nice.
Twee Blue says, incredible hold by Sargsyan again. Absolutely. This is a draw, my friends.
Well,
He might lose on it.
able to
It wasn't a resign, but essentially it was a resign.
What?
Yeah.
They drawed, but literally, bro had 12 seconds left.
Well, bro, but Black only needed a draw to advance in the next round because he won the first tiebreak game. So he just needed a draw. That was the whole drama
So
going forward.
Is out.
A wonder's toast, dude. Cooked, as they say. Do you have another word for cooked?
No.
You're going off the screen, bro. You see that? Are you hiding? Are you hiding on the side of the screen?
I can't.
Are you hiding on the side of the screen, buddy? What are you doing? All right, my friends, we are going to go look at the other games, and then we're going to call it a day. All right, let's go look at the Sam game. All right, what happened here?
I'm short and
All
I
right.
can't reach the top of your desk. So I have to stand up.
All right, so looks like Hari Krishna advances against Grandelius, the battle of the old men. All right, then we got, oh my God, these guys, Keimer just continues to draw. If I were a true chess fan, I would sit here and watch Blitz chess by them, but I'm not. Then, oh my God, what happened here? Dubov beats Prague, bro. Oh, now, big scheme of things, it doesn't matter too much because Prague is already qualified to the World Championship. But Dubov, we're talking about comeback stories. That dude, David Pruess, used to be a huge fan of Dubov, and Dubov broke in the top 20 and then, had a crisis, fell below 2,700. Here he is. He's back. And then Arjun wins comfortably. Arjun and Keimer are the favorites that kind of deserve to make it. They could get knocked out at any moment, though. It's clear. What happened to my boy? Sevian, bro? Sevian. There we go. All right.